And here we are again for one more US session. Today, actually, I don't know how the markets will be because we have the cash market closed because of Jimmy Carter's funeral, former president of the United States, died some time ago, and it looks like we won't have cash market today. Cash markets, you guys know, open at 9:30 a.m. EST, better known as New York time. Um, so I'm a bit concerned that we won't have a lot of movement, although we still have futures markets open, although they will close like earlier. Usually they close at 2 p.m. 4 p.m. EST. Now they will close 2 p.m. EST. So maybe because we have futures and bonds open, we might see some action. That's why I am planning to at least watch what's happening in the markets. But other than that, yesterday we had um, a day which was like very impulsive, but it was coming and going back and forwards all the time, and it wasn't very profitable for us, at least. Uh, but anyway, it wasn't bad as well because we just 5% of the account. It's nothing. So here we are then for welcome for those who are just arriving. Um, let's just take a look here at the markets. I was just saying that we may not have a lot of action today because the markets are supposedly closed for Jimmy Carter's funeral. Jimmy Carter, former president of the United States, from 75 to 79, if I'm not wrong. He died a few days ago, and now we are having his funeral. That's why I'm not sure if we will have a lot of action in the markets. This is paper trading for TradingView that I sometimes use to play a little bit in the morning. I'm planning to start uh, working on the pre-session in a few time, but not now. I'm still um, training, still seeing a strategy that I could apply to this pre-session, uh, to this pre-session environment. So okay, let's take a look here at higher time frame. Because I'm not sure if we will have a lot of movement. I will not call the first week, the first candle of the session, just because uh, we might not have a lot of movement. So I will avoid doing that. It's the first time I'm not doing that, but only because of the circumstance. All right, only because of the circumstance, which is like I say unusual today. Just because of that, we are not calling the first candle of the session, uh, but I will give here some perspective on what is happening. Um, this is like the 1 hour, and we can see this candle here was yesterday. Okay, uh, we had some sort of dump here before in the pre-session. and we came all the way from 263, 263 to 21, and the lowest point was at 5 p.m. GMT, which is like 12 p.m. in New York. We had this 981 here, but from here we just came back and back and forth all the time. And now we tested like a level lower. We tried to go a bit higher here to the 158, okay, 158 area, and we rejected it, just rejected this. And now we are rejecting again the 088, which is a level that was tested here before. Let's just take a look in the 4 hour here. It's something that I want to see. Yeah, look, the 4 hour is looking very, very bearish for the moment. I don't see any catalysts that could put this price higher. We were supposed to see today uh, jobless claims at 8:30 EST, 8:30 New York time, but we didn't have this. I don't know, maybe because of this market closure. And we are supposed to have Atlanta Fed GDP now. But even if we have this, which is like 6 p.m. US time, I don't think it's gonna change a lot. The price action is not gonna be a catalyst because most of times when you have a trend like this, in order to search for this liquidity that is in the top here, okay, you usually you have to have a catalyst, and we have none today. So I am more inclined to believe that we are going to seek these liquidity in this area here in the 21,000 area. Okay, we will probably come to the 21,000, and we will end up testing this 2775. And because tomorrow we have the Fed decision, the Fed interest rate decision. No, it's not the Fed decision. Sorry, we don't have it. We have I'm talking all by heart as well. Sometimes I make mistakes. But anyway, it's the jobs data. Okay, jobs data usually moves the market a lot, and jobs data can make this price go back up. Okay, so we can maybe go back to the trend we were in 2024, an uptrend, and an endless uptrend, or we could break this area here, which is very strong. You can see that we tested it twice. We tested it in December 20th and now and back in January the 2nd. But I think this time, if it comes here, it has a very, very big chance of breaking it. And I'm showing here the 1 day. We can have a better perspective of what we're saying. Look, there's a lot of liquidity here. We are certainly coming back to this area pretty soon. And if we break, we have all this area of turbulence here. But once we break, once we clear this area and this area, we have a lot of room to the downside here, to the 19s, to the 18s, up to the 17s. So depending on the data we have tomorrow, we can see a huge rollover in the market. And we can see that structurally, we are having in the daily like a bearish structure here. We have lower high here, another lower high here, and we can't say that we have two lower lows, but we have a lower low, and this is not a lower low, but it's almost. It's an equal low, which in this case might just mean that, you know, there is buying pressure from there because maybe big guys are long from there. That's why we still have this area here of support, but this support might be broken tomorrow, and we will not see it back here anytime soon, I believe, because if the jobs tomorrow come, the data come very um, like positive. Okay, in this case, good news is bad news for the market, because good news mean that the market is very strong, the economy is very strong, and the Fed will not be able to cut rates anymore. It will have to leave them higher for longer. Then we come back to this narrative of the higher for longer, and if we get this narrative of higher for longer with Trump tariffs and all these zeitgeist that is forming, we might see a rebound in the market. And don't worry, maybe it's a good chance, especially if you are into crypto. Don't buy now. I wouldn't buy now anymore. Like, time to buy has passed. Time to buy is when blue is on the streets, baby. Yeah, that's when you have to buy. So if you have any cash stashed, just leave it in a high yields interest, in a high yields savings account, and wait for the crash of the market. I really believe it's gonna come. I am in the team that thinks we might get to at least 19, 18,000 points in the Nasdaq, and we can go up to 50, 40,000 in Bitcoin. Um, so I sold most of my Bitcoin at 100,000. I bought it at a 30 like dollar cost average. That's what I do to invest in Bitcoin. I just buy a little bit each month, but not when the price is very high. When the price is very high, it's time to sell. I've been selling since 80,000, since it reached 75. I sold like 20%. Then it reached 85. I sold more 20%. When it went like to 105, just got rid of almost everything. Kept like 10% just in case it goes up again, but I don't think so. I really don't think so. Uh, I'm starting to feel like the market is not so intensely bullish anymore. Okay, there's some uncertainty in the air. Okay, that's how I'm seeing it. So let's go to the 1 minute. The 1 minute is the one we use to enter trades. We can see that we have this resistance area here, which I'm gonna just highlight here, because if you reject it here, if you reject here again, I'm gonna enter a short from here. What else do we have? We have this area here, which is the 1 hour liquidity point, this 21039. Okay, that I might think about longing depending on the conditions. Okay, but I am more of a bearish guy at this moment. And you see, look, it's 9:30, and we kind of don't have a lot of movement. There is almost no movement in the matter. Actually, in fact, it's just stalled at this moment. I'm just seeing if it's a problem with my system or if it's really not moving at all. Yeah, no, it's like it's not moving. It's not moving. Look, it's not moving. I'm checking here other connections here. No, it's just stalled. It's just stopped. Just stopped. At least in my data feed here, not only on trading view but in MetaTrader as well. It's just not working. Maybe that's it. The market is like closed, and we will not see any movements today. Maybe, I don't know. Look, now the 31 is moving a bit, but the MetaTrader is still completely stalled. There's no movement in the MetaTrader. Let's wait a little bit to see if it's like a technical glitch or if it's something we have to pay attention to. But maybe that's gonna be it. Let me see here. Another broker that I have. This other broker is also stopped. So it's weird because we were having some movement before New York was supposed to open, and now we have nothing. Like nothing. It's like the weirdest thing I have ever seen. Not even in Christmas something like that happened. I didn't trade actually in Christmas because I saw the other years in Christmas and I saw that it wasn't worth to go. But this Christmas, it was. If you stayed in the market until the end, it was a very good day to trade because there was a nice big uptrend by like halfway of the session, of the supposed session, although the market wasn't open. But now there's nothing. Like here in this capital.com chart, it's moving a little bit, but not a lot as well. The stocks are, we knew that cash markets would be closed, but like futures were supposed to be open, and they are not. So because we have this like eventuality here, I will keep an eye on the thing still, but I will take a look here at another index that I sometimes, not that I trade this very often, but sometimes I do trade here very occasionally. It's the UK 100. Some might know it as FTSE. Let's see if it's worth to. Okay, I'm not showing the FTSE for you guys. Yeah, I'll keep an eye here in the Nasdaq anyway, but I'll show the UK 100. Why not? Why not? Let's see. What do we have here in the UK 100? Let's go for the 1 hour, the 4 hour first. Let's go for the 4 hour first to see. Whoa, this thing is like, solid uptrend here. Huh? Yeah, look, it made like a break. Look, this is the perfect structure of what some called the week off method. We had the break here, okay, at this point 8129, and then we had the retracement. In this theory, they call it throwback, and the throwback with accumulation here. And then it goes back to the top, and then we have reaccumulation. So should enter here, as they say. And then after reaccumulation, we have the expansion again. And that's what we are seeing here. It's very interesting to learn about. Lots of people trade with this method in mind. But anyway, so it's a massive uptrend. I don't know if this market is very interesting for us. today. Hour is very like 20 points for the UK 100 is a lot of points. I'm here looking at the Nasdaq. It's still not moving, so I really think we are not going to have our session because I don't trade futures. Um, I trade like the index, cash index. It's different from futures. But futures, let's see if it's futures. My futures feed is not the one that is updated. It's delayed actually, so I can't be sure because it's 1 hour of delay here. Uh, this candle here is like, oh, okay. It's not 1 hour of delay. It's like 10 minutes. Let's just see here. Let's keep watching this and see if by any chance this thing will move. Uh, and if this is moving, you know, it's it's a we might expect the Nasdaq will move as well. But if it's not moving, we won't have any movements at all. But so before, let's go back to the UK 100 here. Let's see, find the answers of playing around with this. Look, this here would have been something that I would invest just so you understand some of my logic here. You know, uh, you can see that the index here it tested 8323. Okay, what do? I go back in the chart, okay, and I see if this 8323 is a reasonable point that we can bet on a reversal. This is the 4 hour then. I just see that, look, based on this, I can see that this 8323 might be a good point to invest in a reversal, okay? Okay, you see? Because it's 7 points from the highest point, which led the price to go very, very to the downside. Okay, that's why I go back there to the minutes and I look here. When I see this rejection here, what I used to do, this is the first thing I do, is I try to set an order around this area here, okay? And put a stop loss just like 5 to 6 points above here. Because if you get this, like you get a huge, a massive risk reward ratio. If you lose, you can just use like in these trades I used to apply only 0.5% of the account. So if I lose, it's not a big deal. But if you make it, man, it's like 6, 7, 8 points of stop loss, and you make like 200 points. It's more than 20 R. You know, it's a huge, massive risk reward, which is valid. Okay, if I am not able to grab this, uh, what I do usually is I like exactly what happened here, but this is the UK 100, something that I don't usually trade. But when we have something like this, I will even draw here so you guys can understand. Look, we have solid, okay, and then we have a massive break to the downside, and then after that we have this. Um, I call it a morning star, or anyway, you can call it whatever you want. It looks like cross. I used to enter it right away. Boom. But this in the US market, which is totally different, is more dynamic and especially in the hours that I trade, which some call silver bullet. I don't know if you guys heard about it. It's kind of the what the people who tried ICT use, but it makes sense. regardless of the name, but it's they call silver bullet or silver train. I don't know, I forgot, but silver something, which are the hours with more movement in the market, and uh, that makes sense. To be fairly honest, that makes sense because this time, these 2 hours after opening, are the best hours to trade because we have more chances of seeing expansion. Not that we cannot see expansion after the first 2 hours, because the market always do whatever it wants to do. But in case we have uh, it's more common to have expansions in the first 2 hours of the market, or to decide where the market is going the 2 first hours of trading. So that's why these 2 hours are so important. And I usually just trade these 2 hours. So we can see that if I had entered a position right here, as I will, my stop loss would be here, like 10 points, and I would like try to go in this case I would try to go up to the low of the day, or maybe the place that created the movement to the upside, which was right at the open. So it would be here, my take profit. I will make a I'm not trading this order exactly, but maybe I will set another order. Um, I don't even have this here, but I'll set another order here just for not to say I'm not making anything today. Um, I will make a play here. Why not? Since you're playing, let's play. Let's play. Let's play this, and maybe, yeah, this would be interesting. 282. It's the view up. If it's going back, it's gonna go there. Yeah. Okay. And besides that, I'm gonna place an order like in the top of the range here. Maybe, you know what? Right in my stop loss, 325 here. I think it's the best approach since we have an open position already. I will set another position exactly here. 7 points of stop loss, which, if it's hit, will be a banger. Boom. Explode, man. So this is an interesting then attempt here. Let's see how does the spread of this thing. Oh, it's less than 1 point. That's a good spread. Yeah. Okay. Don't do that at home, kids, please. Just kidding. And that's it, guys. I think the market's not gonna move today, unfortunately. I always like to trade. That's what I do. That's the only thing I do. And 8332. Set like a take profit. Right at 8265. This is a banger. 8275. No, 265. 8265. But anyway, this even the UK 100 might not move a lot because it depends on the movements uh, in the US market as well. So we might not see a lot of movement in the UK 100 as well. Let's just take a look here again, back before we finish this live, if we have any movement here in the futures. You see, it's just stalled as well. It didn't, yeah, yeah. It's just stalled. Yeah, it's not gonna have trade today, unfortunately, guys. If you guys are into anything else like forex, which I just don't like. Let's take a look here, just for the sake of the exercise. Let's see if we started here, which is the time that I used to. Okay, market open here in the UK. Okay, it's 8 a.m. In the UK. It's when the market opens. Market opens in Europe as well at 9, which is the same thing than the UK, because the UK is that Europe is like Europe. I mean, Germany, France are 1 hour ahead of the UK. So if it's 8 p.m. in the UK, it's 9 in France and Germany, and well, so this is when the market opens. It started here and started to go up. Okay, this is a good thing. And then what would be my approach here? What I would do is I would mark this area here. Look, this area here is 1.02977. And why would I mark this? For only one reason, guys, because when it came here, okay, so this is very important. It came here and it went up. This is very important. And then I would mark this area here where the price started to retrace to the downside. Okay. Then I would look at, I could have made this first actually to look at the high time frame. So I would go to the high time frame and take a look here at what is happening in euro. I know that it's going, it's rolling over since Trump was declared president, since he won the election. Perspective for the euro is not very good, especially because there is the impression in the market that the European Central Bank will reduce interest rates faster than the Fed, and because of that, we might see parity pretty soon in the euro. So I knew that it's like in a downtrend, and I also would know that in this area here was very close to the top uh, of the range, so it would be a scenario if it was to bet in a short. Okay, so what would I do then? In this case here, I would just see this test and boom. Okay, and then it came back up a little bit and then it came down. Look, just with this, what I would do, I would enter if the price came back right on the top. Boom, here. Hey, very, very tight stop loss. I would cover at least this, okay, because anyway, and would put 2 more points just to avoid any sort of spread to take me out of the trade. And then look, beautifully, majestically, it just went down. And here, seeing that we are very close to the point that I would like to see if we would go lower, I would just start to trail this and I would be off this trade like around here. So it's a 3-to-1 risk reward ratio, guys. Does it work all the time? No, it doesn't. But man, if you are trading this responsibly and knowing what you're doing, like you made a three risk reward ratio here. If you did a 3-for-1 risk reward ratio, it means that you can try this 3 times and you will still break even. Okay. And I would say that this strategy works at least 0.5% of the time, if not more. So this is something that you should consider. Okay. And let me know if you want some more explanations on this. I can even maybe on the weekend make a live if you are interested in seeing how I do trade. It could be, I could do that without any problems. Look, and then, okay, we saw this reaction exactly from here, okay, which is pretty good. Pretty good. It's exactly what I was thinking. It reacted and even broke this. And then what I would do, I would wait for the price, come back to this area like it came at 10:43 UK time, and enter a new position. With a very tight stop loss, I would jump over this point here. So it would have to be a little bit higher than the other one. I would say let's put like 3 points to the downside here to count with some uh, let's say with some spreads, and then let's see how it would go. Okay, it would have gone to this area here. Where is the view up? Where I should maybe be a bit worried. Maybe I should set stop loss at 0 at this point. Okay. And then the price came back down. Maybe I would have taken off of the trade, but I wouldn't be finished with this point yet, because the point we first marked is this. So we should see if it would react again. And then again, we entered here. The price came here. Then we have an even tighter stop loss, like this, counting for the spreads anyway. Like let's make it 4 points. Okay, 4 points. And let's see what happened. We intend to come at least to this area here, like 15 pips, like they like to say in Forex. This would be a 4.15 risk reward ratio. Let's see. When it reaches the view up, which was the area we tested before, I would start to be a bit concerned if it doesn't break it. But up to the moment, I wouldn't set anything. But it starting to fail. In this case, like, it's your call if you close it or if you leave it open, because you reached like, you made like 6.6, which is like 1.69 risk reward ratio. If you think that is too much for you to give up for the market, you could have set stop loss at 0. I don't know if I would. The only thing is that from noon in the UK, the US market starts to move, and sometimes it makes big movements. So we should uh, be very aware of that. But it went, it kept going up. That's why, imagine if that happened. That's why I don't close this kind of trades, even if it went like to 1.6 risk reward. Imagine if you were in this exact situation, okay? Uh, your trade was closed because it was below entry, and then to climb back up, guys. Look, that's exactly what happened here. Look. This is exactly what happened here. That's because things like that happened to me in the past. In these cases here, I try to be less, not for the U.S. market. For the U.S. market, uh, usually it's very fast. It's everything very fast, especially in the opening, which is so thrilling. Uh, but for forex, for example, whew, or the strategy that I'm developing to trade the Nasdaq in pre-market time as well. So you see, let's go. Let's see. Ooh, you see. Look, from here I start to trail. I would start to trail. So how would I trail this? I would trail like this. Um, Trail to like this area here, 1.03128. Let's see, let's see, let's see. Okay, I was taken out of the trade, but that's fine. You see, you could have closed here as well, because here we had like evidence that the price could be heading lower. We had even entered a long from a short from here, but now that we lost this, what would I do? What would I do? I would try to enter a new position from this area here again if it came back, but it didn't. So if it comes back there, I would set a position, but it doesn't. Okay, now it's live. So if you want to just wait for the price come back to this area and then short it, it's up to you, but it's a good trade, okay? I'm not saying it's not. So this is the thing, like patience, wait for the price, reach key areas, and then go for it. Risk reward ratio, try to have the smallest stop loss possible to make risk reward ratio high, and but at the same time protect your trade, right? Protect your trade, because it's very important to protect your trade. Protect your trade, and at the same time set a very tight stop loss, and this way you can make the best of it. For Nasdaq, I usually trade with a 25-point stop loss, because okay, you guys are liking it. Want a Bitcoin? Okay, let's go to Bitcoin. Bitcoin, I'm gonna tell you, Bitcoin is a bit more tricky because the shit moves like nothing else. Crypto, I started trading crypto and I got wrecked. So that's why I never traded crypto again. But I always follow Bitcoin charts and invest in Bitcoin long term. So I'm gonna go to Bitcoin as well. But anyway, so this would be a good area to watch. Okay, if you want to enter like for Euro USD. But let's go for Bitcoin. We have people wanting Bitcoin here. Bitcoin. Okay, let's go for BTC USD petrol contracts for Binance, whatever you want to call it. I go for this because this is where we have a lot of liquidity, and it's an important benchmark, to be fairly honest, for crypto. Bitcoin had a huge slump here these days. Let's go for the daily first to see what's happening here. I know that we reached almost uh, the 100,000 again. No, we went further to the 100,000. Yeah, yeah, we went further. We had on January 6th, we had Bitcoin at 102. We had Bitcoin at 102 in the 7th as well. Then we had slump, which is in line with what we had in the stock market as well. So we are having this correlation between crypto and the stock market, which just shows that there is institutional money in the thing now. So let's take a look here. We had the all-time high. I sold around this area here, 104, 105. Most of my Bitcoin for sure. And we also had this lower low here, lower high, sorry, this lower high here. And now we are in a very important point. Look, even the weekly, I think even the weekly is good for we to see this. And that's why I think Bitcoin is going to go down, because there is a lot of room for it. So this is the weekly. You see that we have this consolidation here. It looks like a consolidation when we look in the weekly. And you see that we had this break from the 70,000 here, which was our former all-time high. Okay, we reached this all-time high back in 2021. And we reached it again around April last year, and we just broke it by the end of the year, like in November. And since then, we are back to this area. Why do I think we are going back down? Because we have no positive catalysts, okay, anymore for Bitcoin keep going up. Because the Trump news already, I think it's it's worn off, I would say. So only that is not enough for this, and we have this overall. I wouldn't say that is a bearish sentiment, okay, because there is no bearish sentiment at this moment, but at least we are not so bullish as we were like last year, especially by the end of the year. People were expecting the Santa rally, the Santa rally, the Santa rally, and the Santa rally didn't come. And because of that, I think we will see like prices lower. And when stocks go down, because we are having this correlation, we will have Bitcoin like exploding to the downside. It makes everything stocks do, Bitcoin will do like 10 times faster and more aggressively. So that's why I think we might see this area here tested pretty soon. It's around 60,000, 70,000. I think this is a good area to start to buy again. And even if it keep going down, just do your dollar cost average and start to buy around here. Start to buy around here and don't stop buying. If it comes back to 30,000, 46,000, which is another level that we broke in February last year, just buy again. And if we come back to 27, buy again and buy and buy and buy. And don't look at your P&L for this. Okay, buy it in only, don't buy it in the futures, only buy it for investment. But if you want to trade this thing hot, let's go for it. Let's see. Here we have the 1 hour for Bitcoin. Okay, and this is the first candle of the day here, midnight. We see that we have the downtrend, and we are very in this very, very, very uncomfortable position. So I wouldn't take longs for Bitcoin today. If I were you, I wouldn't take longs for Bitcoin today. It's clear that we are having this this downtrend path here. And I even think this point here, 92747, could be a good point to think about a an entry. But let's look better here so we can know what you're talking about, okay? This is the 1 minute. We can see here that okay, we had this level here which was tested twice. Okay, let's see the size of this candle so we can have it better. Okay. Oh, 76 points. Yeah, Bitcoin, like when it's like this, the 1 minute candles become like $100, $200, like a regular candle. Like this is 70, another 70. Anyway, so it broke this level here, which was something that we tested like in the night session, in the Asia session here. So we can see that we can say that this level isn't one to pay attention to. And then look, we just made lower lows, lower highs, equal low, then it made a lower high. You can say that's a higher high, but anyway, comparing to this, I would say this is still like a continuation of the downtrend. And look, this would be the place. This 93 358 would be a place that I would pay attention if I was here trading this. I would say, okay, it made this high, and this here is the lowest point that we have in the session. Not only the session, but if we go back to the 1 hour, for example, or even for, let's go for the daily, right? If we go for the daily here, we can see that this is a point that is resisting as a I'm not gonna use resist, so you will not make confusion with resistance, but is a point that it's still keeping, okay, but I don't see a lot of strength to keep this point. So we should be looking for this liquidity lower here. So that's why I would not look for trades long trades in this area, because we are certainly coming to this liquidity here, and if we break this liquidity here, we go very lower. And as I was saying in the beginning of the session, tomorrow is a day that might change everything. If jobs data comes very strong, we will see this market just dumping, man. Everything is gonna dump tomorrow if that happens. If we have like very strong jobs market numbers. And well, again, to the 1 hour, you see that this was the point we were talking about here at 8:39. Again, let's go again. Okay, so first thing I would try, okay, and it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. You can see that it would work. I would try to short this area here, 93 342, and you see, oh, Bitcoin always like to play tricks on us. Okay, so it would just break our stop loss and we would lose this trade. No bother. I would still look at other points like this. You see, we had sort of retracement. We see that this was something with a new correlation here at 746. It brought the price very, very low at this time. So I would again try a short here. Okay, let's see if this time it would work. I would say like because we are having a very strong market for Bitcoin, I would use like a $200 stop loss, 220, depending on where you trade. There's a lot of spread for Bitcoin. Let's see if it would work. It started working. And with crypto, if you are in profit, I would just advise you to maybe at least stop loss at zero, because this thing is very volatile. And if you want like a very short trade, like this would be fine, like $800. If you seek an $800 trade, let's see. Here I would be at below entry, because this is not. This is a hot cake, but guys, hot cake. Okay. I would be willing just to give up the spread. So maybe I would leave the spread and I would just lose it if it comes back to the price. Oh, it's coming back. But as I said, if it wasn't for the spread, it would have taken me here. Okay, but because I would not, I would be willing to lose the spread. I would leave it open. Oh, you see, it's going now, guys. Oh, so beautiful, so beautiful. God, look this. Ooh, ooh. Oh, will it go to take profit? Will it go to take profit? Let's see. Ooh. Oh, look, actually, I'm going to be honest with you. From this break here, I would start to trail, okay? Because it broke here and then it made a new consolidation here and it went down. I would be like trailing this. But anyway, if you didn't trail, would you have made this or not? Uh, no, you would have lost. But anyway, you see, you got like uh, a risk reward ratio of 3 on this trade. It's not bad. And you see, it's not complicated, guys. Don't overcomplicate the thing. Don't use like indicators. Don't use like very sophisticated things. These things don't work for retailers. Retailers, we have to look at price, only price, and price only. Price is king. Price is king. Okay. And when we were in the trade, and then you say, I will short this thing again. I will short this thing again. Okay. And then it came back and it started to come here, and you saw this and say, okay, I'm gonna enter a new short. Okay. And then when the price came back here, you entered a short, and let's see if it worked it out. Woo! It came back down a little bit. If you were like in a rush, you could have made like 400, or you could leave it open. Let's see. Yes, look. Oh, where did it go down? Okay, you see? You see? You see? What I'm saying, guys, it's simple, even for Bitcoin. Even for Bitcoin. Okay? It's not that complicated. Just have your uh, mind in peace. Look, you entered here. Did I do anything like magic? No, it's just because we came here first. Okay, we came here first. We came here first. Okay, and then I saw that there was a rejection from the VWAP. So let's try to enter the closest possible to it. It was here. Just boom, went down. Went down. And as I said, don't go for longs, because it doesn't make sense to go for longs. That thing, like the bias, you have to have yourself. Okay, sometimes it will work, sometimes not. But I think for Bitcoin, especially for Bitcoin, for crypto in general, you should have a bias. Not for Nasdaq, because Nasdaq sometimes, even in, if it's supposedly in a downtrend, it may have like a very strong push to the upside, and you can profit off of that. Okay, but for crypto, be very careful to go against the trend, because it's not advisable. Okay, so then the price is here again. Look, it's here again. What would I do? I would expect it to come close to this area, close to this area here. and then short again if it rejects a little bit. Okay, I would wait for a rejection from any point here and then enter a trade from there. And if it goes back to a little bit higher, I would go there and short it again to see if it works. If you did that like 3 times and it didn't work, okay, it's better you stop. You leave it for the other day, okay? Because that's what a trader also has to do. Not every day works out. Not every day is a profitable day, and that's very important to bear in mind. Um, and but when you do, like you see, we lost one trade. We would have lost one trade here, but we would have made this, which is a four, um, which is a three risk reward ratio, 3R, and then we would have made this, which is massive. Look, this is massive. You have a $200 stop loss here, and then you went all the way down to 2000. Look at that. It's a 10 risk reward ratio. So you did like 13 uh, risk reward ratio only in one session. Okay. Only in one session. So that means if you have a risk of $100, you would have made 1,300 in one day. And if you lose, like if you lose 3 trades, what did you lose? Like 300. That's what trading is about. Not only make money, but know how to lose it as well. So I think we don't have nothing else to do. I'll go for my other stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed the little session we had here. And let me comments and everything if you want more educational content. I would be willing to make something for you guys on the weekend, because this is a very simple method. It's not ICT. It's not what's the name of the other one? Besides ICT, there's the other one. This is a very it's a very weird name. Besides ICT, what's the name of the other one? I don't know. Anyway, these things, I think they are very complicated. These guys, they overcomplicated the things. SMC, smart money concepts. Man, this is bullshit. Total bullshit. Like, what matters is price. Okay, price rejected an area, and you have a long bias. You go for a long. Price rejected an area on the top, and you have a bearish bias. Just go and short it. If it works, good. If it doesn't work, try once, try twice, try thrice. If it doesn't work 3 times, leave for tomorrow. Okay? That's how I do, and it's been working. And that you can apply for every single asset you want to trade. It doesn't make difference. It works for every single asset. We just went from the UK 100 to Nasdaq, Euro, USD, everything. It works with everything. Because in the end, what matters is price, guys. Have that in mind, okay? Anyway, thank you for watching. I think we had a nice little audience here today. And as I always like to say, don't freak out, because this is just a game. Bye-bye.